Hello, Facebook.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey.
We have a treat for you today. We are celebrating the Emmy Awards, and we thought, what could we do to celebrate our own nominees here at Days of Our Lives? So we decided to bring everybody in.
Well, almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
Almost everybody. We're missing two.
We are missing two, but today we have Mr. Shad DeMera. You might know him as Billy Flynn. He is nominated.
It's going to be a challenge for you. Like,
I was like, forget my name. You're Shad. We used to be like friends or something on the show. Yeah. Mr. Tobin Bell, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
We have the incomparable Kate Mansi.
I love.
We have Mr. Vincent Irizarry.
Howdy.
Jay Most. The legend James Reynolds is with us as well.
And then we're missing my son James Lastovic and John Aniston. He couldn't come today, which we're bummed. And I wish I would have known ahead of time. I would have called him and gave him a hard time.
They're probably getting their tuxes tailored or something.
Yeah, something. They're watching their weight so they can slim down for the dress or the outfit or whatever.
Yes, they're going to the gym on the
dress.
They're kilts. The kilts.
Their dress. They're wearing similar dress.
Yes.
So obviously we are so excited. We're going to be taking your questions, so please, bring the questions in. Now's the time to do it. It's live, so we can't censor a thing. So
I know. I just said dress. I know.
Exactly. So we're gonna have a good time. We'd love to hear from you guys. But in the meantime, let's find out what's on everyone's minds.
Right.
Because we know this is a.
Exciting
We try to
time.
play it cool, but it's kind of a nerve-wracking.
Other than the image of John Aniston in a dress, is that what we just talked about? In a kilt.
Well, I don't know what the
Okay.
Greek. I don't know what the Greek is.
And Jim Lastovic.
The Greek is
I'm
different.
voting for John in the kilt. I think
Yes.
Well, all of you guys have such a different story. I mean, how many years have you been on the show?
36 years.
Wow.
Have you ever been nominated?
Yeah.
How many times?
3 times.
3 times.
Wow.
And have
3
you
times a
I
day.
have never won.
Never won. I was on the show 30 years, never been nominated, and then was nominated once. So
That's
And
great.
one
That's great.
did a sweep of a win.
Yeah.
How many Emmys did you
How many
win
win last year?
Like 64
Yeah,
or something?
3.
Yeah,
I
you
love
took-
Mary about playing
Three.
cool, and then I was
Wow.
just nominated.
now
as
there's
well.
yeah.
One.
I even said that in an interview. Somebody asked me first about John Aniston, to hear that he was nominated for the first time. When I first heard that, I thought, wait a minute, there's so much wrong with that statement.
Yeah.
Are you serious that he'd never been nominated before? And then I called last year when I asked you after you won how many times you'd won. You said you'd never been nominated. I thought
You
that's
got
absurd.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Days of Our Lives. I mean, I don't think there's been.
The camera's sideways.
I never felt like we got that many nominations for the Emmys. So it's so great this year. There's so many and so many talented people. Plus the 2 we're missing. But yeah, I think it's very exciting. So where were you when you got the news?
I was here. I was right here. And suddenly I was FaceTimed by Maya. And
Maya,
can I talk to you?
cool.
Can I talk to you for a minute? And so I
That's
thought,
awesome.
must be something
So
up.
great.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. I was really excited. I was kind of actually surprised I was that excited, but I was.
I judged your category and I thought you were awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I said the same thing to myself too.
Thank you.
So, and what about you?
Well, I was actually, it was very strange. I got a call about a half an hour before the awards were announced by my bank because somebody was trying to hack into my account.
So funny.
So I was on the phone changing passwords and the whole thing, and I could not get off. And I kept being switched over to this department, everything. I was on there for about an hour, and all of a sudden I'm getting like all of these beeps on my phone. It's like all these like notifications, and then I'm by my computer, and then I see all these things popping up from Twitter, and I'm like, what the hell? And I turned it on, and I realized that I had been nominated. It's like, and I didn't want to comment.
Did you figure out the account? Is everything
Yes,
okay?
everything's great. Everything's great.
Gotta hold on
And I'm
to
like,
it.
oh, really? It's not that much to hack into. Trust me. I know. No, but I said after I'm getting all of these tweets and everything, and I didn't want to respond because I needed confirmation. I'm going, I'm so happy, so proud to be nominated, and then find out, no, it's a joke. Somebody screwed up.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I was waiting. I was waiting for that Facebook.
I noticed you
Maya.
tweeted your actual bank password.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I know.
And now
Not a
we
good
all
idea.
have his
Now, how many shows?
So
have
my
you been on?
password now is Emmy nominee. That's
Oh, there you go.
it.
That's
That's it.
it.
How many shows have you done?
I've been on 5 shows.
Wow.
This is my 4th nomination, and I won for supporting in 2009. So.
And were they on different shows that you were nominated?
Yeah, well, I was
Every show you've been
first
on,
one.
have you
No,
been
first one was on Guiding Light back in
Something.
85, before she was even born, and that was the young category, young actor category. And then it was 2 for all my children. I was nominated for lead and for supporting. I won for supporting, and then this one.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Great.
Miss Mancy.
Yes.
Yes,
Miss
Eric.
Kate,
Hi.
I thought she'd been nominated last year, and I kept telling her, you're gonna be nominated,
Oh
you're
my
gonna be nominated.
gosh.
I mean, really.
Yeah, no, so you
No,
knocked
you
it,
were
you
so
knocked it
funny.
out of the park with a little
Also
help from this
wonderful.
guy
Yeah.
last year.
You
Yeah.
guys are so great together.
No, Mary Beth was so funny last year. Was like, so like you need to like write your speech last year, and I was like, let's not get carried
I thought
away.
for sure
And
you were
then
winning last year.
she
Getting
called and
nominated, you
was
were
like,
nominated
I'm
was a
sorry,
crime.
I'm nominated. And I was like, no, this is perfect. But yeah, this year I was, where was I? Oh, I was in the middle of curling my hair, and Maya called me. I didn't get a FaceTime, but I got a phone call, and she was
She
like,
just likes to
I have to
FaceTime
talk
with the
to
handsome
you."
dude.
Wait, I lied. I did get a FaceTime.
Okay, good.
Oh my God, sorry, Maya.
I'm
I
coming
just forgot.
back.
I did get a FaceTime.
She's so excited.
It
And I
was a
like,
blur.
half
It was a
curled, and
blur.
I was like, yes, what's up? And then she was like, okay, you got nominated. And I instantly then also got the director of a film I had just done in Bermuda was like I don't have cable, so I wasn't watching it. And she was like screaming and excited. And I was like, you got nominated. So it kind of all happened at once, and I had forgotten that that was even a thing that was happening that day. So it was like the best news.
So excited.
What does it mean to you? Is this something you want? Badly.
I mean, yeah, it's something that I think we all like. It's so nice. It's such a wonderful gift to be given, you know. But I think, and I'm so grateful. But truly, like the last year working on this show, I was given the most incredible opportunity of my life. Like I had an idea, and then it had nothing to do with me, and I was working with amazing people, and I feel like that whole entire last year was my gift of just defining and solidifying like who I was as a woman, as a person, as an actor, and that was just, I mean, job of a lifetime.
You've come such a long way. I remember when you came into the hallways. And
I
there was
know.
little
Well,
Daisy.
we had a funny story when I
That's
first
awesome.
came in because my mom used to be Eric's agent way back when. So when I got
She's
the
one of the
job,
reasons I
was
came to LA.
Yeah,
Your
and
mom.
introduced you to your wife.
That's right.
But I was in the makeup chair and looked
Wow,
over
it's kinda
at
weird.
Eric Martzoff, and I was like, Eric? And then we were like making jokes and sending my mom all these videos of Eric and I, and she's like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. So we really came,
That's
it was
funny.
so full
We did. It was
circle.
total
You're
first
like
story. It
my
all came out in the
brother.
wash,
Yeah.
and
You were there for my first red carpet ever. Like it really was a special
watched you
big brother
watched you
moment.
blossom, and
Is this your
I'm
first
happy for you.
nomination?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it's
is.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think for you
so
too, after such great work here, and now that you've moved on, would be a great sort of crown of Days of Our Lives experience for you, and to go on from, that you've gone on to these great things.
I mean, I feel so, yeah, it's great. I feel so lucky. It's just I'm so happy. It's so nice to be here with everybody again and have some sort of connection still. I mean, when you leave, it feels like you graduated and you're out there in the ether and you're like, but remember when it was so effortless to see my friends every day and work and so easy to, work while you know what you're capable of and what in that space.
Not a bad gig, this little
It's,
daytime.
no, it's amazing.
Which is a
So-
great time to go to this gentleman sitting next to
Yes.
you. From a man who has scared us and been so incredible on the screen, on the big screen. Now you come into these hallways. How was your daytime experience there?
It was amazing. I had 2 very long but wonderful days here in the basement, which we used as the set. I lived in New York for 39 years, and it took me 22 years to begin to be gainfully employed as an actor.
Wow.
During that 39 years. And part of what I did during that time, I did lots of extra work and under 5 work on soaps. And was very grateful for the $150 a day or whatever it was that I made doing that. So when this came around, one of the first thoughts that came to my mind was, because I worked on Edge of Night, All My Children, some shows that are not even around anymore, others, and when this came around, I was like, well, this is full circle in some way, that during those days, I would have given my right arm to be the main guy, you know,
Right.
on a soap. And
Be careful what you wish for around here. They'll give you like 25 pages of straight monologues, right?
well,
And quick,
that
in one
was
take.
to make it 50.
Yeah,
It's
right.
more like 50.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that insane? It's
Oh,
an
what a
insane
story
thing.
though for you.
Yeah, so, and Albert was incredible.
He's
Yeah.
incredible.
He helped me hugely.
Absolutely.
Yes, he did.
We were very much on the same page in terms of physical logic and what he might be doing while he was doing that, you know. So, and then I haven't given it a thought. When I left here after the 2 days, I felt that was good. I liked how I felt working with Drake, and that's all you really can ask for is how did I feel while I was doing it, and did I feel like I could make some sense of something real, and I did feel that way, and then I forgot about it, and then Maya got in touch with me the other day, and that's just a great thing.
How did you feel about, because we're always interested in getting perspective of someone that comes in from film and the pace of soap opera. You came in, we feel sometimes that we feel we get a little bad rap out there about soaps, and we seem to think we work pretty darn hard. What was your experience with the pace of the material and the
I
way-
didn't have to, well, I was fortunate because I had 3.5 weeks between the time they asked me to play this guy, so it gave me time to learn the words, and they had a,
Well, that's just not fair.
Wow.
oh, it
3.5
was
weeks,
huge.
you had the script
I
already?
couldn't have done it. If I had to do what you guys do, I don't think I could do, I'm not quick with words, so, so I was grateful to have that time, and so as far as pace goes, I didn't have to deal with what you have to deal with. And we were in our own little, you know,
Cocoon down
Godfather
there,
set
yeah.
down.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and that.
It was almost filmic in that regard. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was,
You
yeah.
guys were doing.
And even the way they lit it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
Beautiful.
different.
We were all jealous of your lighting.
Yeah, the lighting was spectacular down there. It was awesome. It was like sort of German expressionist almost, you know,
Yeah.
with the angles and
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
shadows. It was
I was
awesome.
gonna say, you look like you could be related to Drake.
I was
You
thinking that
actually
too,
have-
James.
Yeah.
Very
It's
similar.
true.
I
to
get it.
Drake, Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's really excellent.
Well, it was quite an experience, and I didn't really know what I was getting into, but it couldn't have been more rewarding in that way. I felt that sincerely.
Well, we were humbled to have you in our hallway, so thank you for sharing what you brought. It was extraordinary.
Thank you.
What, ready to talk, William?
Let's do one more round with questions for them, and then I'll, let me think of what I can say.
What should we ask this guy?
I was an extra actually on the soap
See.
before I started.
That's so
It was my
cool.
very,
But
one of my
that
very
was
first
up
things
there.
was, I was an extra on Capitol. Remember Capitol? Was that
Sure.
on for a while?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because when I was a waitress in Chicago and I met this model who then went on Capitol and he said, hey, come, you know, I mean, if you're in LA, call me up and I'll get you on the show. So that's how I started too. But it was good to see how you get the mark or find your light or all that. So,
Oh, true, absolutely.
yeah.
The more experience you get, whether you're an extra or whatever you are,
Right.
Close to the camera
Right.
and watching what goes on,
Right.
if you aspire to being a principal,
Mm-hmm.
you
You go
learn a
learn.
lot.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I didn't have any of that experience, and I remember pulling Stuart aside and saying, "You got to help me. Like, I'm dyslexic. I don't know my stage right from stage left, and I'm a dancer, and I never knew it then. Like,
Right.
is there a class I can take that will like tell me?" So Stuart used to stand there and be like, halfway, like down up. I'd be like, "Got it." And then
I always
we
have to kind of
still
go
laugh about
hands
that.
like, oh, the ring. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the left.
But
yeah.
that's the blessing in this place. You learn so quickly.
All right, did you have
I
time?
want to
Trial
hear
by
what
Do you
this
have time to
has
think now? We'll give you a
say.
minute to
Yes,
think about it.
Tell us.
I enjoy listening to you guys.
Okay, well, when did you find out? How did you find out? Did you get a FaceTime? Because if not,
I
then
did get
there
a
you
FaceTime,
go.
and I thought that it was going to be a more special thing than that. Now I find out that everybody's
Uh-huh.
had one.
Yeah,
I
Maya's
didn't
getting
get one.
busted
No,
today.
you didn't get one?
No, I didn't get
Well,
one.
you're the
I
lucky
didn't
one then,
either.
apparently.
Yeah,
I didn't get a face though.
You
Um,
did.
This is because somebody was robbing you at the
No,
time.
we got, no.
Yeah.
You're getting held up.
Yeah. No, I did. I was, and I was kind of, I was up in the hills, and so I didn't really have really great service, and I got a FaceTime from her, and I was kind of just in shock. I was like, because I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, you should be happy. And I was like, yeah, great. And then because it didn't really quite.
It doesn't register really.
No.
I think all the way till,
Takes a minute.
I mean, even when you win, you walk up there going like, it's a Days.
Yeah.
It's all a Days.
It wasn't, yeah, it really wasn't until the day after.
Yeah.
I was fortunate, it was the first category.
Yeah.
So I got it,
that's
went up
nice.
there.
I remember
Got it.
that
Hell yeah.
You
exact.
just sat down in your seat.
I
Eric,
just
I
sat
remember
down.
that exact
What?
moment. You were sitting right in my path. I remember the exact moment with you, and I remember when Eileen won, and you were like, it was so special.
It was so quick,
It
and I
was
remember
so
they were
special.
trying to seat me down really fast. I was trying to introduce my wife to
Yes.
like Ken and all these people and everything, and all of a sudden there's this person with a headset. You need to sit down, as if
It's your
they
time,
knew
it's your
something I
time.
didn't. I'm like, okay, because I'm like, this is weird.
But you
And
were
it's just-
genuinely so surprised.
Yeah, it happens really, really fast, really quickly, and all I can say is just relish the time. It'll hit
Yeah.
you when you're sitting there and the category is announced. Then something will
Yeah.
sink in your
I think even
Yeah.
this particular week coming up, is it this week? Yeah. I mean, I remember when Kevin Spacey did his Academy Award speech, he said, his father had said, when he said he was nominated, he goes, enjoy the process. It doesn't get better than this. And I think that's really true. Like this next week, enjoy it. Go to the parties. Go enjoy yourself. And
You're already winners.
yeah,
Everyone-
it's such a
everyone here
fun
already
time.
won.
And how many times like this do we get in our
You
lives?
got the call back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're taught.
Right.
But I think to that point, I remember you said it goes so quickly and you're sitting there. I remember, and to Billy's too, like the emotion is surprising. Like I kind of expected if this ever happened that I would cry, and I didn't cry, and I was like curling my, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a sort of a
Are the
shock
tears
more
coming
thing.
at? No, they're not.
Yeah.
But so many people that should have won. Like I remember when Ali Sweeney didn't win, and I was like, what? This is so strange. So many people that are so talented that don't win or don't get nominated or whatever. And then you see the moments of people that are nominated and they have their whole family and everything, and that moment comes and goes and it doesn't happen to them. So it's like, it is sort of all relative, but it's so nice. It's such a, it's such a great thing anyway, but like it is. It's just like this quick moment.
Plus, don't you think the cool thing is,
Yeah.
this is a really cool thing too, that your peers, like we all watched, everybody that's in the academy watched all the tapes. And people voted and voted and whittled down and voted and voted and voted. And that's a cool thing, that the people that are all in your medium see your work and vote. And all of us that work in daytime know that we don't watch other people in daytime. So it's a truncated situation, but it's so cool to see everybody's work. And that, you're selected out is pretty cool.
It's not true, Mary Beth. I watch every
work.
show every day.
Yeah.
It's all you do.
We know that.
Especially with all the
It's been
hard work that we
Slow month.
put into it
Right.
on a daily basis in this medium. And it's true, we don't really have a chance, it's like a busman's holiday. We don't,
Right.
sit there and watch everybody on the other shows. Occasionally you see them. But I've always felt that this medium in particular is probably the most rewarding as well as challenging medium to be involved in. Because you get to do, these long-running stories with
Middle of the
characters,
book.
and you get to do the character development that sometimes go on for years
Over
and
time,
decades.
exactly.
Growth. I mean, you've been doing this for 36
Yeah,
years. So
the character does grow. It grows with you, and
That's
Right.
exactly. And
I think
ages
that's part of the
with you.
attraction of the audience, is that they
Absolutely.
love to live with these characters over time, and
Yeah.
they grow up with these characters, they
Right.
grow older with these characters, and I think that's one of the attractions
Yeah.
of daytime.
And it's also you doing like these situations kind of in hyperspeed. You go from one like intense situation that you're in a storyline going to the next one, and it keeps you go from one to the next to the next. I love it. I find it really rewarding, and so for this to happen after the hard work that we all put in, and as you said, to be recognized by your peers, that's great. It's a nice feeling. Obviously.
All different categories are read. Technically, feasibly, they could all win, right?
No, he and I are.
Oh,
against each
that's
other.
right. You two are up against.
Yeah.
Oh,
It could be a
good
tie.
thing
You'll
I'm
be equally
separated.
as
Which-
happy if
Alright.
you win
Which
it.
is a
Yeah.
victory in itself, because for how many years, it was like 10 years since there's been a lead.
Oh, really? In this category from the show?
Oh,
I
wow.
think so.
Wow.
This is-
Well, that's awesome.
Now
Well,
that- now
I'm
that-
honored to be sharing it with you, my friend.
Yeah. Well, let's split
I mean,
it.
I
Let's,
told him-
let's call it like a poker game right now.
Yeah,
We'll
just
just-
like
absolutely.
whatever
Yeah.
happens,
Someone gets
Yes,
the
yes,
hat
split it.
top
if we make it to the
someone
final
gets the
table,
bottom.
we'll
No,
split it.
honestly, when I
Ties
first came on the
would
show, I
happen.
went right up to Billy. I told him, because I had been watching the show for several weeks in preparation to come on, and I told him that I loved his work. I let him know I think he's the next sign.
Well, everybody gives their
Since
all.
I'm from the Saw movies,
Yeah.
I'll bring the saw, we'll cut it.
Cut it in half. Cut it, absolutely.
This is my
Now, that would be a
this is my
Facebook
dream.
video.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
It is symmetrical, you can actually just take it right
Take
down.
it right down the middle.
Yeah.
You know what the really nice thing about daytime too is, I mean, one thing that you said that was, you know, how many years, 22 years that you tried to be a, you know, successful actor, and it just that it takes so long and it's so difficult. And I think that people arrive on soaps for different reasons, but yeah, her. But even if you think you're going to stay for a minute, you often stay for longer and longer and longer because you're a person, maybe, I think most of the people here have families, and you want to support your family, and you want to have a regular job, and you just want to be a regular Joe doing what you love. And that's one of the things that I think daytime is such a gift in that way.
It is.
And my kids always thought that I was home because with the schedule, you know,
Yeah.
half
That
days
is
or whatever.
amazing, yeah.
It's been really, really a nice life.
That's
No,
great.
it
Amen
is,
to that.
Jordan. Yeah.
So do we have any questions out there?
Oh, yeah, questions.
I'm kind of scrolling through here, but we're live, so I'm just going to ask you guys.
Why don't
ask
you
some
just, why don't you
questions.
just read the questions?
We have a lot of fun little comments, but we don't have many questions.
Say out loud to the thing. Say, ask some questions,
The
ask
audience
some
knows
questions.
everything. They're omniscient.
Ask some questions. Maybe you didn't know you can ask questions, but now
Yeah.
we're opening
Yeah.
up the ask the questions time because these guys are tired of just talking. So, okay.
There's just a lot of love. There's just
A
love.
lot of hearts.
Thank you.
Is this
Love.
like
There
Periscope
is.
where all those
We
little
love
hearts
that.
go?
Yes, there's a lot of hearts. It's just blowing by the screen.
Is that
I
what
guess
happens on
people love you
Periscope?
guys.
Our
apparently.
hearts go by?
You know, I do
did.
Instagram, and that's like it.
No, I had no idea.
Oh, it's lag, is what
Simply
it is.
tweet.
It's a little lag,
I'm
yeah.
like, why is the camera on me, but I'm seeing her?
All right, the first question that pops up, I'm
Okay,
going to
good.
read it.
Good.
First
Okay.
one.
And had
So
to
we'll
pop
just be
out.
quiet until the question comes. Never
Actually,
say a word.
Instead of splitting the Emmy though, we could have you set up a very elaborate game between us.
That's true.
I'd have to consult with all of you.
Put the Emmy in a box and put the key
You
in
can
one
have
of
split
us.
custody,
That's
like
right.
1 week
We
you'll
can have
have
custody, that's right, we'll have
the other one
visitation.
will have it,
We'll
and
set
then
up
you'll
visitation
set up,
rights.
like, get a nanny and like
Yeah.
pass
Yes.
it back and forth.
Every nominee wants to be a
Hire
writer.
somebody to go to each home
I
on
don't.
Saturday and they bring it by and this is your
Yeah.
week. You have it.
I'm unemployed, you guys, I'll do it. I'll drive it to,
Thank
I'll
you.
drive it to Billy.
You'll be the task
I'll
rabbit.
drive it
Question.
here.
You'll be the task
Yeah.
rabbit.
Chabby 2.0 though has a solid chance of sweeping.
Oh, Johnson, like that.
Mary Beth,
If
who
we
would you
could
want to
sweep,
bring
we could
back
have
from the
Chevy.
past? Who would you want to bring back from the past? There's a question.
Kate Nancy.
Aw.
Oh, that's sweet. She happens to be here.
Yeah.
She
I
did.
love her. My
I
little
love you
niece. I love
too.
her. Okay, next.
If Days is ever canceled on TV, will you guys take it to the internet? Days will never be canceled. Are you
Yeah.
crazy? What is this?
what?
Year 53?
Oh, you didn't say that.
We love Days so much, we'd probably do it in the parking lot, like a Shakespeare in
That's
the
right.
parking lot.
We're all so
During-
devoted
yeah.
to our characters. I
The
mean, I don't
most
think we can let it go. Yeah.
Of entertainment is.
Yeah, we can't let it go.
Who will be
Soap
Brady's
operas.
new love interest? Anyone that's breathing, I don't care at this point.
And you've had a few that weren't breathing, haven't you?
I'm a
Or at
little
least weren't
unlucky in the
breathing
love
after a
department,
while.
but aren't we all,
Yeah.
gentlemen? I mean, yeah, we need to get you a love interest. You need to come back and
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
hook you up with someone.
How long were you married to Lexi? Long time.
20
Oh
years.
my god, I remember.
Wow.
What a beauty.
20
Oh my
years?
gosh, she's a beauty.
Loved working
That's
with her.
rare.
It was
That's
turbulent.
rarity.
How about, you know,
It was,
Stephen and I just remarried on the show 30 years after we married the first time. I mean, how
Wow.
rare would that be that we be the same actor?
And
Wait,
30
I
years
just
later?
have to go back to Renee. I used to love walking behind her. That woman has the best legs I've ever seen in my
She's, you know, what, she's a goddess. She's blessed.
Like I remember
She's
walking
blessed
up with
and
my
a
script
goddess.
and being like,
She's pretty beautiful.
You're amazing. Like she's,
She's so,
gorgeous.
and the nicest person.
She is
The nicest
a wonderful
person.
person. She's a lovely
But
person,
gorgeous,
yeah.
right?
And she just
Like, I was like,
retired from
what?
it. She just never.
She
went-
did.
Yeah,
She
she
just-
stopped acting.
she-
We were
she's
corresponding,
retired and enjoying
like
her life.
literally writing letters to each other. But she
Yeah.
went off to Marina Del Rey and was like, I think I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I don't think I'll ever
she's
say that.
enjoying
I'll
life
always do something.
every day. Well, I
Yeah.
will too, but,
I don't know.
Something.
but
We'll get
she's
back to the
happy.
theater together.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
We
He
will.
directed me in
I
a
directed
play
her in a
once.
play.
He directed me in a
She-
play.
Oh,
She was
really? What was the
wonderful.
play?
It was
It was called The Tangled Snarl.
Tangled Snarl. It was
Which
a
my husband still
send
says is
up.
one of the best plays he ever saw.
Oh, it was funny. It was
Yeah.
really funny.
It was
And
like
she
a
was-
the
she was-
40s
She was a
stuff.
film fatale.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question here. This is a good one. How do you choose which scenes to submit? And were there any scenes you didn't submit, but you wish you did now?
Mhm.
Like on that night, on Emmy night, you can be like, dang, I should. That was the wrong thing.
I think timing
was
has
it.
a lot to do with it. Like the timing of the episode. Like some episodes you felt, or I guess I should speak for myself. Some episodes I felt like, oh my god, this is great, it's so honest and so perfect, and whatever. But I had like a screaming baby in the episode,
Little
and so
distracting.
that didn't work. Yeah, it was too distracting, or like the timing. I don't know. Like
Right.
I think it's just a lot of it is very. It comes down to like there is a
Mood.
practical element to it too, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mine was kind of like mood. I felt like it was a weird year for me. I lost somebody, like my reel was kind of all about tragedy and loss, and that was kind of where my year was
Right.
as well. So it was
Tap into that a little bit.
Resonated.
Well, no, I mean, you guys are well aware of. Yeah, I lost my great grandmother this year. So, but it was after these scenes had taken place, and I think it was comforting to look back and just see sort of how I dealt with loss with that. I guess so. It was a.
Sort of like a cathartic.
Yeah, it was like a cathartic thing. It was kind of so. It was about tragedy and dealing with tragedy. I mean, one was one character getting over losing Abigail, and then the other one was his father.
Yeah.
And the mix between them was kind of pretty much how I actually was.
Right.
Does anybody else, I'm curious, did you guys ever know in the moment, like when you walked away, were you like, that, whether you submitted or not, but were you like, that was the most, like, truthful, like that was the work, if
Yes.
anything
I just
coming
had
out of
something.
that?
I just had something like that,
I had that.
and I don't have that very often.
Yeah.
Like,
That's,
they
there
come
are
to you and
times
they're
when
like,
you
you have
walk
this
upset,
much
you feel
work,
like you
and then
just
you're
did
like,
everything that you could with it, that you were.
Don't you feel as an
honest and
actor
it was-
too when yourself too, and you wanted what was honest
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and simple?
yes.
Well, those
You
are
know-
the times you float through it. I mean, I feel like you're in a different space.
Right.
Right.
And
I was Nicole, because I felt it told a story from beginning to end, you know? It was like I took predominantly from 2 shows and 1 scene from the 3rd show, and it wasn't even sequential. It was out of sequence, but for those that don't watch the show, they wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Because it brought them on a journey from the beginning to the end of the reel. And even if they didn't watch the show, they would definitely know what was going on with the characters at that time. And I always felt, obviously, Ari is like, you know, wonderful. You could do any scene with her.
Yeah.
She just like kills it. So it was great, you know, in that regard.
Well, we have time for one more question. This is interesting. Is it difficult balancing the show and real life family? Your real life, the show, does it ever bleed over? Is it hard? I think
For you, it's been hard because you travel.
yeah,
If you're a traveler,
Well,
it makes it really hard.
one of the beautiful things about what we do is to have a family and have this medium as an actor is a godsend. It's like going to the office, and so it's very conducive for having a family in that way. You should have some kids, you'll find out. It's
Yeah,
easy.
absolutely.
Well, he's
Sure.
married,
That's
and
right.
maybe
The SUV,
next,
just do it.
Well, I
but,
think it's
sure
almost,
he's working on
almost
it.
2 questions, actually. One is, you know, us as real people, and I think this is a great way to work for actors as real life people, because we can have a family, we can have that life. And the other, maybe in that question, is as actors, do you know, when you're involved in these very intense moments, intense scenes, do you take that outside the door?
Can you do that?
And I think that depends on who you are. I mean, and there are days I think it bleeds over a little bit.
Right.
There are days you walk out and you just can't
Absolutely.
really quite leave it behind.
Right. But when
And,
there's something so heavy like you guys were doing, I mean, you were into it for so long, it kind of, I know for you, it kind of was.
You ever have your significant other looking at you in the kitchen like,
I
"Are
think
you
it
okay?"
depends so much on, for me at least, like your partner and your, it's almost like the other person too. Like my family and my partner were like, that was how I really survived that year. And I really set out for that. It was like, this is the year, I'm just gonna
Go all in.
really focus on this. And it just happened to be a hellish year for me in other circumstances, and so that kind of like, you know, played into the work. But I think the partner in my like non-married experience, I think the partner like allows you to like either builds you up and allows you the space to be able to go out there and be dangerous and violent and explore in your work and come back and travel or do whatever you need to do with your, you know, in your home. But that's, I don't know, that's a part of, that's acting's a part of the life, but that's not, you know, the life is with
Right.
the family and the.
I've often thought that, like, this may be crazy or whatever's happening, but since I have such a great home life, And I always say,
Possible, yeah.
this is my real life, and I'm so lucky. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
if you
lucky,
build
yes.
and nurture your home life, whatever happens.
And they do remind you. I think sometimes I've had people be like, "Hey, you didn't there was no funeral today. You didn't stab anybody. Like you're good." You know? And you're like, "Oh yeah, like it's okay."
Just make believe.
Yeah,
You
but the days
know?
I wasn't kidnapped.
realms and
I
by
wasn't
chance.
kidnapped. I wasn't one of these
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. And I think we're all fortunate, that those of us that go home to families that are supportive and embracing, and it's a good thing.
Plus, we're all such good friends here, and that
Yeah.
helps.
That's
Yes,
true.
And you're
absolutely.
such good with your partners.
Yeah.
It was almost
We've
like
known
a
each
second
other
family
for-
here.
We've known each other
Yeah.
for over 30 years. That's pretty extraordinary.
Okay, well, guys,
Yeah.
obviously.
Is that a wrap? I could do this all day.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
We're obviously rooting for every single one
Oh
of
my
you.
gosh, I can't
Thank
wait.
you.
I'm going to
You
be
are family.
clapping.
I know.
When
And
every
it's
one
gonna
of
be
you
a
win.
terrific night, so
Yeah.
congratulations on what you've already accomplished.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And
Remember,
Thank you
this
for your
week, go to all the
contributions
parties,
too as
have
well.
fun.
Oh, we're
Absolutely.
behind you. We're family. We're family. So thank
All
you.
right, guys.
You guys are terrific.
Great.
Thank you, fans,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Cousin Eric.
Thank you, we love you.
Cousin Eric.
Thank you so much.